Hello everybody, and welcome to today's video. Now, I know I already posted something on the channel already, and for some of you, I'm live on Twitch as well as YouTube, but this will be posted on YouTube as well. Anywho, we're going to be getting into tonight's Raw card. I think we are about an hour and 30 minutes away from Monday Night Raw tonight. I'm really excited. I had some interesting thoughts about Battleground, mixed opinions. I just feel like that some stuff didn't go right. Some things did. Anywho, I know I'm getting very sidetracked already off the start, but we got, I think it was about 4 matches announced for tonight. So, without further ado, I'm going to go right here and we're going to look at them. So, starting off, we have 2 men's Money in the Bank qualifying matches. No women's qualifying matches, which I already think is a kind of a bad look off rip. The first match is Penta versus Dragon Lee versus Chad Gable. Honestly, the match can go either way. I'm also going to be laying down my predictions in this video for tonight's card. But we could either have El Grande Americano attack Penta during the match and prove that Chad Gable is not El Grande Americano, or we could just have Penta win, which would be the worst answer in my opinion. If you saw my reel on Instagram, you know that I picked Chad Gable because I think that El Grande Americano might show up, which is not Chad Gable. I'm just kidding. It's obviously Chad Gable, but we all know that. I'm still gonna stick with my answer and go with Chad Gable. I'm gonna say that we don't get no El Grande Americano interference in this match, even though I think they should. If they don't, I'd be very bummed out, and I definitely will make a complaint on it on the recap later tonight. But see, obviously Dragon Lee is not winning. I would love for him to win, but he's not winning. Penta, they didn't put Rey Fenix in the ladder match, so there's no doubt in my mind. There's nothing in my mind that tells me that he's an automatic qualifier. So Chad Gable, he was in last year's qualifier. He took some awesome spots. So I think they'll run it back with him. I don't think they can leave him out this year. Penta, don't think they can leave him out either. But at his age, I don't know if they're going to put him in. You might be saying, what do you mean at his age? I think he's like 40. So that's what I'm talking about, at his age. But yeah, I'm going with Chad Gable. I think that El Grande Americano will get involved, and if he doesn't, I'll look like a complete idiot. But last week, we saw El Grande Americano attack Penta during his match with AJ Styles versus the Judgment Day. So Dragon Lee just has nothing to do with this match at all. I don't know why they throw him in here. Yes, he'll make for an awesome match. Don't get me wrong. I love Dragon Lee. He was one of my favorites after he came to the main roster, after he had an awesome NXT North American Championship run down in NXT. He came up to the main roster. They teamed him with LWO, which I thought was an awesome decision at first. Then we just put him on a completely different trail. So, obviously not Dragon Lee. I don't think it's going to be Penta. In the end, I'm going with Chad Gable. Next up, we have Finn Balor taking on Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn. Kind of a full circle match. Seth and Sami obviously have their issues. They face Sami Zayn and CM Punk faced Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker at Saturday Night's Main Event. But Finn Balor, he picked up the pin last week in that tag match with AJ and Penta versus the Judgment Day and JD's tag team return. Or tag team debut, I think. No, he had a match against War Raiders. Never mind. Anywho, I'm really excited for this. Honestly, I can't tell which match is going to be better between these two. I don't know if Penta, Dragon, and Chad's going to be better, or if Finn, Seth, and Sami's going to be better. I'm going with Seth Rollins winning this next men's qualifying match, just because I think Braun Breaker, they already showed Braun coming into the building. Obviously, WWE didn't, but World Wrestling Kid, y'all know who that is, he showed that he was coming into the building. So, obviously, he's there. But, Balor, I don't think he has no shot. The Judgment Day is going to be out there, so we're going to see that reuniting of Braun Breaker and the Judgment Day after he tortured him for months. So I'm expecting another spear from Braun to Carlito. I'm thinking that we get just Carlito out there for Finn. I hope. And then we see Carlito try to screw over Seth or something, and then he just obliterates him. I think that Braun comes out and spears him. We get kind of a rerun of that. But Sami, where does he lie? What is he going to do? Sami, I think, is going to... I think his anger is going to be out on Seth. But do we see Bronson Reed? That's the real question. Do we see Bronson? There might be some more stuff already released for tonight that I didn't see, because half the time throughout the day they'll release 2 things, and then more they'll release like 3 more. But there's already 4 things on the card, so I don't expect them to release a whole bunch else. I'm going to go with Seth, obviously. Sammy, I don't see it. Finn, I don't see it. I think he needs to stay in the tag division, and I think the real question out of all of that match is who is going to get pinned. I think it's pretty obvious that either Penta or Dragon's going to get pinned. And that match, I'm guessing Dragon, though, because he's doing nothing. But who's going to get pinned? And Seth, Sammy, and Finn. I'm going to go with Finn Balor getting pinned. It isn't the right decision at all. It isn't a decision that I would want to see by any means. He picked up a win last week. That was a good momentum booster for him. But I mean, you can't have him not get pinned in this match. You can't have Sammy get pinned, especially after he just got obliterated by Bronson Reed. So, going with Seth, I think it's the obvious answer. So, that would mean that we would have these 2 already in Money in the Bank. I think that's pretty obvious. Next up, we got Rusev and Akira Tozawa. We know Rusev has kind of been on a mean streak going after Alpha Academy. He returned, attacking Otis and Akira Tozawa, but we see him run through Otis in the last week, and now not last week, the week before last, and it kind of felt like last week that we kind of just took a break on this rivalry, which I liked. I liked not seeing Rusev and Akira on TV, though it wasn't Monday Night Raw, so I was kind of bummed out I didn't get to see him, but either way, we took a break from it, now we're back, and Rusev is obviously winning the match, but what happens after the match? Probably Otis tries to stand up for Akira again, or we get a new superstar coming out and trying to stand up for Alpha Academy. I think that's a high possibility, and in which I think that superstar will be somebody like let's see, if we really just think about it, who would stand up to Rusev right now? Who would be that one guy that just levels Rusev out for the time being and brings his stock down just a little bit after returning and being one of the most hottest superstars on Raw? I think it could be, honestly. If Braun Strowman was still in the WWE, I think he would be a good candidate for this. But we all know he did get released, sadly. So I think, we'd obviously have to do a full deep on the roster. We'd have to scroll through the roster, see who's the best option. But I have no person in mind right now that pops up straight in my mind that would make me think that they would level out Rusev tonight. But either way, it's a match. I'm going to go with Rusev. It's obvious. And then what I'm guessing is going to be in the main event. It looks like a heck of a match. We see the World Tag Team Champions, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, have a double the trouble tonight. They face double the trouble against the Creed Brothers and the War Raiders. Last week on Monday Night Raw, obviously people did not get to see it, but the War Raiders were on main event, which I thought was very odd. We didn't see the Creed Brothers last week on Raw. So that makes me think that they could win tonight, to be completely honest with you. I'm going with the New Day retaining. It's the obvious answer. I don't have the Creed Brothers just yet. Obviously, we still kind of we've been shying away from the Alpha Academy for the past couple of weeks. We've been seeing Chad Gable not really be associated with them, as well as Ivy Nile. They haven't. She even on main event. The Creed Brothers did not walk out with Ivy Nile in her match with Maxine Dupree on main event last week. So I think they're just slowly trying to step away from it. I think that the War Raiders and the Creed Brothers will still trying to be battling it out, and I think the War Raiders will be too focused on the New Day after what they did last week, costing them their number 1 contenders match, which now they already got a shot at the titles. So they're going to come locked in, as well as the Creed Brothers, because we know they've been wanting everything. They've been wanting the smoke. But after hearing the New Day's speech last week, I don't know if it was aired on TV or not, but they said that they were going to absolutely destroy the Creed Brothers and the War Raiders, and that they had something up their sleeve. So I'm gonna believe that, and I'm gonna go with the New Day winning this match. I'm hoping this is gonna be in the main event. If it isn't, I'm gonna be very disappointed. But I do hope Seth, Sammy, and Finn do open up the show. Those were my predictions. We can run them back real quick. I have Chad Gable defeating Dragon Lee and Penta in a men's qualifying match, as well as Seth Rollins defeating Finn Balor and Sami Zayn. They look like obvious answers. Still kind of confused about the Chad Gable, Dragon Lee, and Penta match. That match is pretty unpredictable. But I got Rusev defeating Akira Tozawa. For me, it's just what happens after the match. That's what's going to be important to the storyline. I don't even think there's any storyline being built for Rusev and Akira tonight. I think it's after the match is what's going to really impact Raw. As well as I got the New Day defeating the Creed brothers and the War Raiders in what looks to be the main event of Monday Night Raw. I hope you all enjoyed this quick little live stream. I know I'll probably be doing these a lot more. If you're seeing it on YouTube, I am streaming on Twitch and YouTube, like I said earlier in the video. But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this quick little stream. And y'all know how we're gonna do now. But I do got something cool that I wanna do because I got this thing that I'm running on. I'm running the stream on Restream. Thank them for this stream because it looks absolutely awesome. But with that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed the stream. And I will see y'all in the next one. Deuces.